Let me give some seconds to Zoom to let the participants in. But I can see that some were very quick. Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our webinar. Very interesting topic. I know that everyone wants to study mechanical engineering in Germany. That's probably the best location to do so, and you are in the right place today. We are going to talk about mechanical engineering in Germany, and it's Georgi with you, who will be the moderator of the webinar. And you can see I'm not alone, which is great. We have two guests from two German universities who will present two different study programs on mechanical engineering. Dear attendees, if you don't know, now you should know that you can see the Q&A button in the bottom part of Zoom interface. This is the main communication line between you and me and us, basically. So it is already open and you can send in your questions starting from now until the very end of the webinar. So we will see the questions, we will monitor the questions. If the question is not answered directly in the chat, it means that we are reserving this question for our live Q&A session, which will start after two presentations are done. So each presenter will do their presentations for around 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will start with a live Q&A session. Okay, so also keep an eye on the chat because they will be sending some interesting information for you there. So let me now start with my part, very short presentation, and then we can move to the most interesting part. So studying mechanical engineering is umbrella topic for today, and we have guests from Technische Hochschule Rosenheim. It's Florian Thoma, and he will talk about bachelor level program in International Bachelor of Engineering. And then we are moving to Braunschweig, Technical University of Braunschweig, and we have Christa Hellert. She will also talk about bachelor level program in Sustainable Engineering. Who is behind today's webinar? If you don't know, dear attendees, it is my German university, and we are Germany's largest database when it comes to English taught study programs. So, for example, if you're interested in programs that are at least mostly taught in English, you should visit our website and make a good use of our study finder. Our main goal is to assist international students in their path towards studying in German, towards pursuing, for example, their bachelor's or master's studies in Germany. And we are doing this in three key ways. One of them is through our study finder. So you can see the small version of it now on the left-hand side. And we have different bachelor and master's courses, also language and short courses listed there. And it has lots of filters. When you go to our website, in the top left corner, there is a study finder section and the full version of it. And you can make a good use of it by applying lots of filters, which will make your search for the right program much more efficient and time effective. The second way of helping you is writing up articles. We have lots of articles on very important topics, on various important topics that when it comes to studying in Germany. For example, if you are interested in visa topics, for example, like blocked account, like job seeker visa, or letter of motivation writing for German universities, for DAD, different scholarships, language requirements, etc., you should visit our articles page and get acquainted with these quite comprehensive articles, which are for free for you guys. The third way of helping you is through organizing webinars, which we have over 150 webinars per year, again, about different topics. It can be Uni Assist, it can be visa, studying in Germany webinar, the general one, or the subject webinars like the one that you are attending right now on mechanical engineering. It can be electrical engineering, it can be philosophy, it can be political science, biology, mathematics, etc., various topics. All the webinars that are already planned, you can see them on our website in the webinar section, and you can sign up for these webinars and attend, of course, them for free. Our team is based in Hamburg, in Germany, mostly in northern Germany, but we are also all over Germany, of course, and even all over the world, because we have our, for example, our team members who are based in Spain, in China, etc. That's why we are also counseling in different languages, and you can see some of them listed below. For those students who are also interested in German taught study programs, I would also suggest you to check out Hochschulkompass. Then you will find, not might, but will find very good programs that are taught mostly, at least mostly in German language. But for those who are more into English taught study programs, then you should check out our study finder of my German university. And there you'll find around 100 degree programs related to mechanical engineering, and both on bachelor level and also master's level. And most of them, you can see, they are in English only, which means that you do not need any knowledge of German to successfully get into the program and successfully complete the degree, which is really great. For those who do not know what to expect when it comes to studying mechanical engineering in Germany and would like to have a bigger picture, for example, what are the general ranking of universities that are offering these programs or tuition fees or different requirements, I would also suggest you to check out our subject pages, in this case, subject page on mechanical engineering, and there you will find some generic information about this topic. Also, when you're searching for the right program, it's crucial to take into account many aspects, like not only rankings or not only city names, but more all this together and plus some details more, because this is very individual and you would like to make sure that you are making a right choice when you are applying for the program. Yeah, there are two types of universities that I would like you to know about in Germany. One is an Universität type of university, and in our study finder, you can control, for example, the programs in mechanical engineering that are offered by this type of university. And the second type is University of Applied Sciences. In German, it has some different variations of namings. And also in our study finder, you can control for the programs that are offered in mechanical engineering by exactly this type of university. The key difference that you should know right now is in focus. So focus of the Universität type of university is generally more on research and theory, and when it comes to University of Applied Sciences, focus lies more on application and practice. And last detail regarding again the suggestion how to correctly search for the programs. In addition to the elements that I mentioned before, also please be more flexible in terms of wordings, don't be too strict. And then if you take into account all these suggestions, you'll make sure that you are aware of all the options that Germany is able to offer you. And then this is a crucial step actually towards making an informed decision, which I think is one of the most, if not the most important steps. So in terms of choosing the right program and building your academic career or professional career. All right. That being said, let us move now from the North Germany to the very south of Germany, to Rosenheim Technical University of Applied Sciences. As I already introduced, Florian with us, and he will now talk about bachelor level program in International Bachelor of Engineering. So let me stop my screen share and invite Florian to start his screen share.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hi, it's good to see you. So my name is Florian. I work at Technische Hochschule Rosenheim. We usually short it down to TH Rosenheim. That's what I use in this presentation. I will just open it real quick. And I work at the international office of TH Rosenheim, and I'm a project coordinator for our technology study programs. And today I will not just show you the mechatronics track of our new degree program, but also other options that you could take. See. Okay. It should be full screen by now, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So today I will talk to you about our new degree program. It's called International Bachelor of Engineering. And it is aimed at international students who want to study engineering studies in Germany, for example, mechanical engineering, without paying tuition fees. So we are going to talk about that now. I will just give you a brief overview of our university. So we are a University of Applied Sciences. We are at the very south of Germany. So this is, I will just open my laser pointer. This is Germany, and here we are at the very south. Our main campus is in Rosenheim. That's very close to the Austrian border, but we have also other campuses in Chiemgau, Burghausen, and Mühldorf, but we will mainly talk about Rosenheim today. Overall, we have 10 faculties, 4 locations, and with us you can study 4 core areas of studies: business, technology, design, health, and social studies. Technology studies are our main focus of studies. We have 6,500 students and around 270 lecturers, 35 bachelor's degree programs, and we also have follow-up master's degree programs available for each of your studies, 16 at the moment. Giorgio already told you a little about universities of applied sciences, so I will make it short now. So we are also a University of Applied Sciences, which means our focus is on the application of knowledge and the practice. What's special about us, each of our bachelor's degrees has an integrated internship. So we work with companies, and you will spend half a year working in a company during your studies. Our module plans and our study plans are structured. We have smaller class sizes. Our professors all come from the industry, so they don't just have an academic background, they also have work experience. And what is very important to know, it is just equivalent to a regular degree program. So for example, if you decide to do a master at a regular university, you are totally free to do so, and you can just switch in between. Also, they are very popular among German students. 40% of students in Germany study there, and overall, almost 140,000 international students study at universities of applied sciences. Here we summed up 5 key benefits for you if you decide to study at a University of Applied Sciences. We have a very, very good professor and student ratio, so the tutoring is very good. We have many persons who work in the labs. We have many labs actually in Rosenheim. We have more than 100 top class labs with very good machines to learn on, with hands-on practice. We have a hands-on learning approach. You don't have to pay tuition fees in Bavaria. And also the salaries are rather good, especially in Bavaria, in the Greater Munich area, where we are a part of. So now looking at Rosenheim, we are very close to Munich, sorry. Munich is around 30 minutes away by train. So it is easy to reach for you. We have many high-tech industries. Well, the Bavaria or the Greater Munich area is mainly known for, let's say, Audi and BMW, so the automotive sector and its suppliers. But there's also much more companies. I will share some of them with you later. And Rosenheim is a very nice town. It has many lakes. The Alps are in a good vision. It is a small town. It has around 60,000 residents who live here. You can reach every place by bike. It is very, very nice. Here you see some of the main activities that you can do while you study in Rosenheim. So we are very popular for those friendly creatures you can meet while you hike in the mountains. Here you don't have to be extreme. You don't have to do real mountain hiking. There are also cable cars going up there, but this should be the Kampenwand that you see here. So we have many mountains. So it takes you 20 minutes, 30 minutes by a train, and you're directly in the Alps. We have many lakes where you can go swimming or relaxing in the summer times. If you're into mountain biking or road biking, it's a perfect place for you. There are thousands of kilometers to do there. In the winter, we have a lot of snow. We are very close to Austria, so you can do snow sledging if you like. You can try skiing or snowboarding. That's all possible if you're in Rosenheim. Now, if we look at the costs of living, so we summed it up here for you. So the biggest part of the cost of living usually is the accommodation. You can either go into student dormitories or look for private accommodations. Overall, we tell our students that they should expect in between 650 and 950 euros of monthly costs for living. And we compensate that by the fact that you don't have to pay tuition fees for the studies themselves. If you would like to learn more about that, you can also see our welcome guide where it's more detailed. You can use the QR code or just use the short link here. And now I'm going to tell you about the International Bachelor of Engineering program, which is a new program. It started in March now for the first time. So we have our first batch of students studying with us now. It starts in the mid of March, so always in the summer semester, once a year. It is a Bachelor of Engineering degree program. You have 10 different engineering specializations that you can actually choose. Mechanical engineering is one of those. And you can study it in Rosenheim or in our second campus in Burghausen. And the key benefits that you have with this class is that we have integrated German language classes into the studies. So you can start your engineering studies and your career in Germany with studying in English first, learning German along to that, and then you make the switch into German studies, which will also help you finding an internship, finding work in Germany while you study, and also after your studies to start your career in a German company. We make this possible by a common first semester that you have. So all the classes are the same, and then you can switch into your specialization. So you don't have to know your specialization at first. If you want to do mechanical engineering and know that now, that's perfect. If you still want to switch, there are still options for that. And we have industry partners as part of this program who will help you find a job and start your career in Germany. Here you see the specializations that you can choose. So in Rosenheim, our main campus, you actually have 7 different specializations to pick: electrical engineering, energy and building technology, engineering and management, mechanical engineering, mechatronics, medical technology, and plastics engineering. So you don't have to know what you want to study at the start of your studies. You can just decide that when you're here, when you arrive, when you see the labs and you get the presentations of each specialization to pick, and you're perfectly fine with that. In 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, we also offer 3 different specializations: chemical engineering, environmental technology, and process automation technology. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 is mostly known for its chemical and petroleum sector, so that's why the studies here are more chemistry related. Here you see the course structure of your studies. So if you enter, you need English B2 languages to start with the degrees that are taught in, with the courses that are taught in English. And as you see here, in each of your semester, you will have 10 credit points workload of German language classes integrated into your studies. So you can study the first 3 semesters in English with German language classes starting at an A2 level. And then you make the switch into your engineering specialization, for example, mechanical engineering starting at the 4th semester. And you have the practical semester in each of your specialization. In the winter semester, that's the 6th semester. And then in total, you will study 8 semesters. That's 4 years of studies. Here you see the proper course structure. If you study mechanical engineering, so here you see the first 2 semesters are the basic modules that are mostly the same for all of the specializations. You have the German language classes integrated here. And then as you move into your studies, it gets more specialized. There's still a choice. If you pick mechanical engineering, there are several electives to choose from. There are different tracks where you can still specialize in. So you start with basic studies and then you specialize further. And when you're finished in the 8th semester, you will write a bachelor's thesis that you could also write in a company. And then you can also choose follow-up master studies that we have available. Here you see some quick facts about our faculty of engineering in Rosenheim. So this faculty has 29 professors, around 40 staff members and lecturers who also work there. It is the biggest faculty that we have in Rosenheim. Around 1,000 students study in this faculty. This faculty alone has 23 labs. For example, our newest lab is the one for additive manufacturing and 3D printing, and it has follow-up master studies available, for example, engineering sciences. Here I have some new testimonials by our newest students who started in March. I would just read the testimonial of Tatenda for you. So she said, "My experience has been exciting and wonderful. I have met so many wonderful people in my classes and outside too. I learn new things every day along with my German classes. My favorite activity is the 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 lab. So that's a free lab where students can just go to and do whatever they like. They have assistants for that and they can just experiment. It's great to express my ideas in more than just words. TH Rosenheim really is a place full of opportunities and growth and creative encouragement." If you want to see more testimonials, we have them on our website if you like. As I told you, we also have industry partners who want to support especially international students who start their bachelor studies with us. So we actually have now more than 40 different industry partners. You see some of them here. Also big companies like BASF is a big German company, Infineon in the Greater Munich area, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘔, which is one of the biggest chemical companies in Germany. And they do offer internships. They also offer company visits. So for example, next week, our class goes to see 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘔 and visits them. They also have dual study options, so you can work and study along to each other. We have working student jobs available during your studies or also in the semester breaks. And you can also write your bachelor's thesis with those companies. So what are the admission requirements if you decide to study the International Bachelor of Engineering degree program? Well, you basically need three things. So the first thing is your higher education entry qualification. We do check that with UniAssist. You need the so-called 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘱. You find articles on that on My German University. And this one is issued by UniAssist, so you get your review there. You can do it all online, and then you send us the review along with your application documents. Then you need English language certificates for a B2 level of English. We accept several certificates. The most common one actually is TOEFL or IELTS, which works very well. And you also need a German language certificate for A2 because you need some basic German to start with in order to move up in the German to then switch to the German language classes. Usually the Goethe certificate is the most common one that the students use to apply, but we also accept other German language certificates. Since this program starts once a year, it's important to be up to date with the application timeframes. So UniAssist, where you can review your higher education entry qualification, opens a little bit earlier for you. So this starts already in September. So you have about 6 weeks ahead. And then starting in the mid of October, you can actually apply for the International Bachelor of Engineering degree program directly at our university. And you also hand in the German and English language certificate along with your UniAssist certificate. And then the start of your studies will be mid-March. Our summer semester goes until the end of July. Then you have semester breaks where you can travel home, where you have holidays, where you can work in Germany, travel Germany. And starting in October, you have the winter semester, which again goes until mid-February. And then you have another semester breaks until March again. So the application process is a little bit outlined here. First, inform yourself about the degree program, the documents that you need, and the admission requirements. Then you can pre-check your educational certificates before you apply to UniAssist using the 𝘸𝘪𝘵𝘩 database for admission requirements. Then you apply for the BPD at UniAssist. Then you prepare your German and English language certificates. Then you apply online, and then you will receive your admission, which helps you also apply for your visa if you need one. Here are some services that we offer for our international students, because we know international students need special support to have a good start in Germany. We do have language buddy programs. So if you want to meet with other German students or students from other nationalities and learn languages, you can do that. We match you. We have welcome weeks, so we show you around. We also travel with the students in the first few weeks, so they know about Rosenheim, about the greater area, Munich. So just to give you an orientation. We do offer housing on campus, so we help you with finding accommodation here. We do have student tutors who help you getting a good start in your studies, German language classes, and we also have social media accounts and special events that we do for international and German students to help you network and match. Here are some career services that we offer for you. So there are workshops and coachings, which are all free. We offer CV checks for your application. There's also an exclusive job portal that's only for students at our university, where the companies can post open positions. We have on-campus company fairs available for you. You see some pictures here. The biggest one is our 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, which usually has around 200 companies that look for young professionals. We offer company visits with our industry partners, 1 or 2 each semester. We have scholarships available directly by university. So after your first year of studies, for example, you can apply for a semester term grant. That's especially for international students. Also, if you study in Burghausen, there are still on top of that additional scholarships available. And here are the housing options that we offer for you. So the cheapest way is to go into the student residences that are just next to our university. There are several available. The main one is the one by our student union, but there are also private ones like St. Sebastian Campus Roh, which is a very nice and new apartment building, but there are more just around our campus. Another very common thing is to go into shared flats or WGs. how are they called in Germany? That's also a great way to meet fellow German students and live with them. Or you can also, of course, rent a private apartment. We have all the housing options available on this website. And here are the contacts. So if you're interested in the International Bachelor of Engineering degree program, you can also contact my colleague Franziska. She's the program coordinator of this program, but you can also just contact me. Here are our email addresses. And here are the main reasons why you should come and study your studies here in Rosenheim with us. So you don't have to pay tuition fees for the studies. You can learn German right with your subject engineering classes. So you can learn German while you study engineering topics. You can pick your specialization later on, so you're still flexible at your start. We have a very practical approach to learning. You go into labs, you have practical units while you're studying, and we have a top-class industry network available for you. All right, here you find our contacts. We also have Instagram. This is the website where we also have collected all the information for you, but you can also find us on Facebook or send us an email, international@th-rosenheim.de. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Florian, for a very interesting presentation. You touched upon all of the topics that matter really for the students. Thanks for that. And let us move now to our next speaker. So let us move now to going up to the north, not that much as Hamburg, but still quite north, to Braunschweig, Technische Universität Braunschweig. And as I already introduced, it's Christa Hellert. And we are sticking with bachelor level program, but the focus is different. It is sustainable engineering. So Christa, please go ahead.
Yes, so welcome to this presentation about sustainable engineering in Braunschweig at the Technische Universität Braunschweig. My name is Christa, and I'm one of the program coordinators at our Faculty of Mechanical Engineering here at this university. Before I'll let you know a little bit more about this specific program, I would like to show you a bit where we are and where the university is situated. We are in the north of Germany, in between, right here, and we are in between Hanover and Berlin. It's about half an hour train ride to Hanover and about 1.5 to 2 hours to Berlin. And you can see that Bremen and Hamburg are right here, not too far away. And then also one main international airport, Frankfurt am Main, is right here. So we are pretty much in the middle of all of it. If we zoom in a bit further, you see Braunschweig right here. And to the south, we have the Harz Mountains. If you like to do outdoor activities, you can go biking here, you can go hiking, you can go cross-country skiing in winter. So if you're into these kind of things, it's not very far away. To the northeast, I should say, there's Wolfsburg. You might know Wolfsburg as the headquarters of Volkswagen. So they are a big player in the region, among others. And then if we zoom in even a bit further, you see the city center right here, surrounded by the river Oka, and the campus, or the main campus, is right here, so that you can bike or walk into the city within a few minutes. Overall, Braunschweig is a city where you can actually bike anywhere within, I would say, 20 minutes, or you use public transport, and therefore it is not necessary to have a car, which I personally find very convenient. Also, we are a city of about 250,000 inhabitants, so medium-sized city in German standards. And to give you a few impressions of the city and the university, the Braunschweig Lion is right here in the middle. This is the symbol of the city. You can see the old castle and the old cathedral right here. And up here, this is a rebuild of the palace that was destroyed in World War II, and now houses the library and the archives with an adjoined shopping mall behind it. A few impressions of the university. The top left, this is our House of Science, where the Student Service Center is housed and where all your questions get answered. Up here, you can see one of the main events of the year, the TU Night, that kind of mixes science together with a big party. We haven't had it for the past few years for obvious reasons, but I hope it's going to get started again because it's a really big and great event. Below here, you see one of our research centers in the north of the city, because we do have a research airport in Braunschweig, and aerospace engineering, aerospace research is very big here. And so our institutes and research centers are located right next to this airport. Braunschweig is also a very green city. So you don't have to travel as far as the Harz Mountains, even though they're pretty close. You can do some canoeing, some stand-up paddling, whatever on the Oka. You can walk, run, do sports in the many parks around the lakes. So there are a lot of things to do outside right in the city, which I personally like a lot about it. It is also the most active research region in Europe, and Braunschweig is right at the center. We do have not only Volkswagen, but lots of other industry partners, lots of other research and development, and therefore the spending is the highest in Europe in this sector, in this field. And I mentioned Volkswagen already, but we do have a few more in the region, a lot more than I can mention now, and we are very strong partners in the research industry with many of them. For example, the German Aerospace Center is located in Braunschweig, also right next to the research airport. Some of our professors in this field actually work there and then teach at the university. We have the Physikalisch-Technische Bundesanstalt, that's the National Center of Metrology. That's where the atomic clock for Germany sits. And we're basically the master clock is, I would say. Helmholtz Institute, Center of Infectious Diseases, was very prominent the last few years during the pandemic. And there are many others where we're connected to. Also, Braunschweig is a member of the TU9. Those are the 9 leading technical universities of Germany. Among others is Berlin, Munich, Aachen, Hanover, to name a few. So we are also very close connected to all of them. Overall, the university has around 70,000 students and 86 degree programs. We have 120 institutes that divide up into 6 so-called faculties, which I'll show you in a minute. Right here, you see a picture of the old main building. That's where I'm sitting at in the moment. And this is on our main campus, where a lot of your classes would be in your first semester. Mechanical engineering is one of the 6 faculties here at the university. It's the largest one. Being a technical university, we have a long tradition of mechanical engineering, and we have 12 degree programs in total, 4 bachelor's programs and 8 master's programs. And sustainable engineering is one of them, one of the bachelor programs, I should say. And overall, we have about 20% of international students, and we have programs within Europe, but also outside Europe, and partnerships with universities all over the world. That means students and also research projects that go on with different universities around the world. And yeah, international being the key word, this is what we strive for with our program, with our bachelor's program, Sustainable Engineering. We wanted to have an international program, Sustainable Engineering, because we all know about the challenges that we're facing today more than ever, I should say, probably. We all know about the climate change. We know all about the inequalities all over the world. We know that we have limited resources and we need to be very careful how we use them. And the big question is, how are we going to make the Earth a good place for us, for the generations to come, and for all its inhabitants? There are many ways to tackle this, many ways to find solutions. And if you think that mechanical engineering is for you, then engineering can be part of the solution, we think, if we opt for global solutions. And that means that we need to design systems and products that are sustainable, and not only environmentally sustainable, but also taking into consideration economic and social sustainability. And if we try and take all of that into consideration, then we can find solutions that will actually tackle those challenges. And that's what we need, something new, I would say, something that is, number one, international. That's why we have a bilingual program in English and in German. You will have a solid education in mechanical engineering because it is a program in mechanical engineering. And second, it is an emphasis on the aspect of sustainability. So those are the two focuses: number one, international, and number two, sustainability. And that's what we wanted in this program. It is a bachelor's. You will have a bachelor degree of science at the end of it. It is a program designed for 6 semesters. That is the standard time for all of our university's bachelor's program. It has 180 credit points. We start in winter at the moment. That means October. And because it is bilingual, you can choose in the beginning the foundation modules. You can choose whether you want to take them in German or in English, so they are available in both languages. And at the same time, there are German language classes available at the Language Center. So if you still need to improve your German when you get here, you can do so for free with these classes. As you move on, there will be modules, or there will be courses that will be either in English or in German. But in the beginning, you can choose either language, whatever you feel more comfortable with. We do have mentoring programs for all new students, be it German or international students, to help you around campus, to help you around university, to help you around Braunschweig, and also to help you around Germany and German culture. There are programs for first semester students and programs also for higher semester students. And then later, maybe you want to be a mentor as well. If you look a little bit closer at the program itself, you see down here, the light green box are all the compulsory modules, and they divide up into 4 areas. And one of them would be math and IT. So you'll learn mathematics for engineers. IT right now is Python. Then engineering applications, for example, material science, fundamentals of engineering, things like thermodynamics or engineering mechanics. And then very important for this program, sustainability. There are also different courses that you have to take, and you learn all about what is a life cycle analysis of a product, what is economic sustainability, what is social sustainability, what is the definition of sustainability, what does that mean? And you learn about energy systems and things like that. Then once you've done all the basics and have a good foundation in mechanical engineering, you choose your area of specialization. You can choose either sustainable mobility, energy and process engineering, or sustainable production. I'll talk about them in a bit. There's one integrated module where you can basically take anything that is outside your curriculum and that you're interested in. Either it's language classes, German classes, or other languages. It can be self-development skills. It can be courses from other curriculums, such as, I don't know, some historical aspects of engineering or anything else that you're interested in. To give you some more practical experience, there will be an internship of 10 weeks, and you complete your studies with your bachelor thesis at the end of it. To look a bit closer at the 3 specialization areas, we have sustainable production. Here it is important to have an approach, or in our view, to have an approach that is life cycle oriented, meaning it takes a holistic view of everything. So it's not just when we use the product, but what happens when we produce it. what happens when we use it and what happens at the end of it, meaning when we can't use it anymore, can it be recycled? What are we going to do with the materials we don't need anymore? So all of this needs to be taken into consideration. And this way, we believe that it's better to, or it's easier to develop products sustainably. It's not only about maximizing profits, but also minimize risks and minimize environmental impact, for example. If you look at sustainable energy and process engineering, they focus on energy conversion. So basically, how do we get heat, electricity, and so on and so forth. And process engineering means material conversion, how material is converted into things in our everyday life, be it medications, toothpaste, foods, cosmetics, many other things that you can think of. And I think we've become very good at maximizing the economic benefits, but we need new approaches that combines that with, for example, ecological benefits. And that's what's being looked at in this specialization, among others. And then sustainable mobility combines automotive and aerospace engineering. So you have a look into both of them. And especially there needs to be an interaction of intermodal transport systems. For example, you don't always need a car. You use your bike, you use your car, you use a bus, but also for things that are transported by train and so on and so forth. And that, for example, is necessary if you want to look at a sustainable mobility concept. I already mentioned Volkswagen in the area, but there's also Siemens Railways, which is pretty big, and also the German Aerospace Center. And those we are connected to, and students have the possibility to work there, maybe do their bachelor thesis there and things like that. Overall, the specialization will make up about 1/3 of your studies. And as the compulsory modules are compulsory, here you can choose which modules you actually would like to do, which courses. There are a few that you need to do for production or energy and process engineering or mobility, but then there is others, depending on your interests, what you would like to do. A few words about the application process. As we start in winter in October, application opens in June, so next week, up until July 15th, or October 15th if you are a EU citizen. And the application is directly at the university. So you register through the university's application website. There is no UniAssist or anything like that. There are a few requirements. Number one, you need to have a German university entrance qualification, as with all German universities. You need to have a certain language proficiency level in German and in English. If you have not completed your education in German or English, or if you're a native speaker of German or English. So in German, it would be DSH1 or TestDaF TN3 or anything equivalent. At the time of the application, you need to have level A1, and you need to complete, for example, DSH1 by the end of the 3rd semester. So you can take German classes during the first 3 semesters and then take the exam and show that later. Just a word of caution, a level A1, so start with level A2, cuts it very fine. So there isn't much room for resitting the exam, for example. So the higher your level of German, the easier for you in the beginning. For English, you need to show some kind of language certificate, such as TOEFL, IELTS, or others. They're all mentioned on our website, so you can look that up. There is a pre-study internship of 8 weeks that you should complete before you start here. You do not need to have it completed by the time of your application. It can be deferred until the end of the 4th semester if, for whatever reason, you couldn't finish 8 weeks, but only 4 or 6, or maybe even none. Then you need to hand in a deferral, and then you have to do it later on. However, the more you can complete before you start your studies, the better, because you might remember there's another internship coming up later of 10 weeks. There are a few personal requirements that you should, of course, have. Mechanical engineering is all about science. It's mainly about physics, thermodynamics, engineering mechanics, fluid mechanics, engineering design. So it's all about finding practical solutions to problems using physics, using science. So that should be your main interest if you want to study something like this. We do not look for physics or math or any kind of science on your degree, but just so that you know, this is what it's all about. So if you think, no, math is not for me, physics is not for me, or IT, for example, Python, then you should probably go for a different degree program. Before I close, I would like to give you a few words on the fees and costs of living. Application is free. The only thing that you need to have assessed is your school or university qualification. If you haven't done so with us earlier or at a different institution, then you don't need to do that anymore. That would be 75 euros. Other than that, this program, as we are a public technical university, is tuition free. The only thing that you will have to pay every semester, every 6 months, I think also with any other university, is the semester contribution. It is around 370 euros at the moment. For that, you get lots of services on campus, be it with the international house, the mentoring programs, subsidized meal at the cafeteria, lots of other activities, a huge sports program, and other activities, other clubs that are going on around campus. You also have free public transport in Braunschweig and all of this in the state of Lower Saxony. Overall, I think Braunschweig is a very affordable city to study compared to other cities in Germany. The international house of our university estimates the cost of living at approximately 940 euros per month. I personally think this is a very, with that you can live very comfortably. So depending on your standard of living, this can be less or more. But I think this includes everything: rent, leisure time, insurances, anything that you need for your studies, books, and so on and so forth. So it can be less, it can be more, but I think this is a good estimate. If you're interested in the program and for whatever reason we can't answer all your questions today, or you come up with questions later, please contact me. My name is Krista Hellert and my email is right there. Just send me your questions and I'll answer all of them. We would love to have you here. So if you're interested and if you decide to come already this winter, it would be great. And we look forward to your application. If you're interested in the program for next year, so October 2024, please watch out for the application deadlines because they might change for the winter semester and be a bit earlier in order to give you more time for your visa. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you soon at the Technische Universität Braunschweig. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Krista. Another very comprehensive and interesting presentation, which answered lots of questions, but we still have several interesting questions. I think that it would be nice to address them. Let me start with there are two questions which I find really interesting regarding Studienkolleg, and I find this question quite logical, to be honest, because this is an issue for many international students. So let me read out the first one, the bigger one. So as bachelor programs usually require foundation or preparation year, how exactly will we be considered? So if I apply to you, but it happens that I need Studienkolleg, does this mean that you save the spot for me? I come to Germany, do this year of preparation, and then join you? Please do not skip this question. And the second question is again regarding Studienkolleg. Do I do a 1 year Studienkolleg program before starting your bachelor's program in Germany? So, Krista, let me start with you. What would you say, especially to the first question? If you would like to, I can read it out once again.
Yeah, first question with the Studienkolleg, whether the spot will be saved?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, with the Studienkolleg, it's always kind of difficult. It's hard to give you an answer that fits everyone, and that will be handled by our incoming office of the International House. Our program, the Sustainable Engineering program, is free. Free meaning it's non-restrictive, so there is no space to hold for you, because if you apply, you would then apply again, and if you then fulfill all the formal requirements, you're in. So we don't have a limited number of spaces at the moment because the program isn't that big yet. And therefore, everyone who fulfills the formal requirements, I should have said that beforehand, and the language requirements can enroll.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter whether you need a year longer or not.
Okay, clear.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And Florian, you already addressed, you also mentioned something similar. Could you also repeat once again?
Yeah, I think it's basically the same for us. So there also with us, there's no further restriction for the admission, like any pre-practices. Also, so there is no place that we have to save, because every student who applies and fulfills the formal requirements will be admitted to the program. As Studienkollegs are tricky. If you go through a Studienkolleg, make sure to do a T course, so a technology course. But generally, I would say it's best to do maybe 1 year at the university in your home country, because usually that also gives you an admission for studying in Germany. It's easier than going through a Studienkolleg.
Yeah, that's a very good advice, actually, Florian. Thanks for that. Because dear attendees, you know that sometimes, depending on your background, you may not need a Studienkolleg, but in many cases, you need Studienkolleg to catch up with the German requirements. But in many cases, as Florian mentioned also correctly, if you have already started studies at your home country in bachelor level, you might not need Studienkolleg anymore. Yeah, and thank you, Nino. She shared already ANABIN database, which is very nice to check out whether, because you choose your country, you choose your high school certificate, and then ANABIN will tell you whether you need Studienkolleg or not. And together with ANABIN, please check out the DAD database regarding admission requirements, and there combine these two information together, and then you'll find out what you can do to avoid Studienkolleg if you need it, for example, or all the information then will be based on the ANABIN and DAD database answers. Great. Let us move forward with the next question for both programs again. Hello, Georgi. Hi. Do these scholars offer further master programs if I want to continue with them? Florian.
Yes, we do have a master's directly in Rosenheim that's called Engineering Sciences, which also has 3 specializations to do, for example, electrical engineering. You could also do applied research and development as a master's program, or you could also switch to, let's say, Traunstein for advanced industrial engineering, or Burghausen for hydrogen technology. So those are the 4 master's degrees.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Florian. Krista?
Yes, we have 8 master's programs. I would have to say that they are in German at the moment. It isn't directly the Master Sustainable Engineering, but you can go into the Masters for Mechanical Engineering, for Aerospace Engineering, for Renewable Energy Technologies. I think that is the one that makes more sense from going from Sustainable Engineering to that one, because it also has sustainability in its focus, and there are a few more. So yes, we do have 8 master's programs, but they are in German at the moment.
Great. And dear attendee, you can check out the websites of Rosenheim and Braunschweig also to find out which one, for example, will for the future fit you best, which program. Next question is, sorry, I joined late. What is the minimum GPA for both programs? I mean, school grades, for example, do you have specific grade requirements for math and other classes? I see Florian is saying no. Florian, there's nothing like this. Okay. In Rosenheim. You don't need a GPA, and in Braunschweig also.
Neither.
So,
yeah.
Okay, perfect. No GPA requirements, but other requirements you have to fulfill, of course, that both speakers mentioned. Otherwise, you will not be considered. Next question: is the mechanical engineering bachelor taught in English at TU Braunschweig?
Well, part. as I said at the beginning, the foundation modules of the first year in German and in English, so you can choose the language. And later, when you improve your level of German, it's either in English or in German, depending which course you take. But there are courses that will be completely in German later on.
Okay.
Or completely in English.
Okay, let me stay with you, Krista. When you mentioned classes, life cycle assessment, does the list also include classes on sustainable manufacturing and sustainable engineering? Thank you.
I have to check.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Oh, here. Okay. Well, it's hard for me because I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, to be honest. I'm not quite sure. I mean, sustainable engineering, sustainable mechanical engineering, yes, of course. But this is a very wide field. So in the specializations that I mentioned, sustainability is key and is one of the focuses. Sustainable manufacturing, as in sustainable production, those manufacturing lines, like the big machines, I would say that is part of it. And sustainable engineering depends on which field of engineering you mean. For example, we do have we have a very focus in mobility. Our university focuses a lot on research about sustainable aviation, for example, and how can that be engineered, just to give you one example. So it depends a bit which field you mean, to be honest.
Yeah, dear attendee, if you want to specify your question more, send it right now or to the email that we mentioned in the chat. Florian, a question to you. I want to master CAD. Is it possible with your program?
CAD, technical drawing. Yes, we do have that. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's in the second semester. Yes.
The second semester. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Next question to both of you, maybe. Do you accept SAT certificate? Florian, would you like to address this?
I have to ask, what is an SAT?
Oh, yeah, sure. To my best knowledge, it is like a test which students take for college admissions in the US mostly.
For US. To be fair, I never had a US applicant so far.
Okay.
If you like, you can send it by email and we check.
Okay.
Check directly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good advice. Thank you. And Krista?
Depends what you need it for. If you're talking about university entrance qualification, then it depends. It does depend on all the other transcripts that you have. So you would have to either check Anabin or the same thing, send it to us, because I can't give you a standard answer. It really depends on everything else that you have.
Yeah. Okay, clear.
So you need to send it in to have it checked, and that is part of the assessment process.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you. And I think that this university entrance qualification confused a bit some students, and especially from the US. I have another question. I think it's also from US, from Kimberly. So the question is, university entrance qualification is a topic I'm confused about. How do you know if your transcript from the United States is enough? So my suggestion would be check out the Anabin and the DAD database that I shared in the chat already, Kimberly. There you will find the information, what you need to do further. But our speakers, if you would like to add any more advice on that, please go ahead.
Yeah, that would be my advice also, especially with the transcript from the United States. Just that usually does not give you enough to enter the German university directly. You need to have higher education, or you need to have special university entrance examinations. So just the high school diploma is usually not enough. And Anabin will tell you what you need to have in order to enter directly, or whether it's going to be Studienkolleg.
Okay, perfect. Florian, would you like to add something else, or?
Nope, perfect.
Okay, perfect. And then Florian, one question to you. Because of the summer semester start, do people transfer in and out of the program? Many other universities have winter semester starts.
Yes, we are a bit special with our summer semester start. Well, you can actually transfer. You mean transferring into the winter semester, for example, in the second semester? Then yes, this is basically an option. But just you can't transfer in the 5th semester now because the program just started. So now you could, in winter, you could maybe transfer into the 2nd semester or next year into the 3rd or 4th. Yes. Yes, but in general, yes, for sure, you can transfer in and out too.
Okay, perfect. Let's move forward. And question for Krista. Is it okay? Okay, wait. This is something that you already addressed? Oh, no. Is it okay if my internship is during high school? Somehow it went to that rest part. I don't know. So is it okay if my internship is during high school, during summer break? But I mean, how can I have profession related internship?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is okay if you do it during high school, because you need to do it before your studies. So it has to be at some point before studies. On our website, maybe I can post it in a bit. We have a complete guide on what the internship needs to contain in which area. So usually it's within the welding industry and things like that, to work with metal and so on and so forth. But there is a complete guide on where you can have that internship and where you can take it. So if you can do part of it during, like, in between high school and university, that would be perfect, because it is supposed to be pre-study. I can send the link into the chat so that you know where to check. And if you have more questions, please send it directly to me and I'll forward it to my colleague who's actually the expert for all the internship types. But please don't hesitate to email me.
Perfect, thanks. Now there are 2 questions that I combine related to language qualifications. For example, is it possible to get English language waiver to students who have already studied or completed 3 or 4 years at the English taught university? And the second question is, the usual German proficiency exams like TestDaF or DSH are not available in my country. Would a German language diploma be accepted for A1 or A2 proficiency? Florian?
Yes, I just have to check with the website real quick.
Sure. Take it.
Yes, so as for German, successfully completing German courses at a university, that would be recognized if it was in the total amount of 4 ECTS credits and at an A2 level. And as for English, we don't have this option available. Just if you are a native speaker, then this would also work.
Fair enough. Thank you, Florian. Very clear answer. Krista, what would you say?
Yeah, similar. For English, there are the standard tests plus, or you have an education in English, and in German, because it is level A1, you can show it in different ways. But if you do have to take DSH1 or later the test stuff, it needs to be that examination. But for your application, you can prove A1 with a different certificate, for example, from your university. Okay,
perfect. Clear. Thank you. Sagar, your question, I can address it. How much percentage does a 12th grader international student require for doing bachelor's in Rosenheim and Braunschweig? So as we already addressed this question, because it's about GPA, you don't need any specific GPA or percentage. So don't worry about that. Of course, you have to complete your studies. You should not fail. So as long as you complete your studies there and you have your high school diploma, that's fine. What is the average score required for MA? Again, this is a score, and no score requirement is for these programs. Of course, if you are interested in any specific other programs, other bachelor or master's programs, you have to visit the websites of that universities. Many of them will not have any specific score requirements. Some of them will have. So it's not universal answer. But for this case, there is no need for any specific score. Only successful completion. Do universities have scholarships for European students? Yeah, so this already we mentioned, we addressed already, and I will just ask, I will quickly share in the chat the link to the scholarships, just for those who are interested. I know this is important to know. everyone wants to have scholarships. And yeah, Krista also shared the information in the chat. I will quickly copy it for everyone. Internship and scholarships for 𝘗𝘪𝘵𝘁, and Florian also addressed this question. I remember he addressed one of the questions already. So next question. You mentioned that there is no restricted admission, but then mentioned that only high school diploma is not enough. Can you please guide me once again?
Oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead if you would like to.
Okay. Well, non-restrictive means if you fulfill the formal requirements, you're in. So there is no limited number of places, but you still need to fulfill the requirements. And that means a German entrance qualification, meaning high school diploma plus whatever else is needed. So those are two different things to be considered. And the German university entrance qualification is the same for all universities. So this is nothing that we can change. That's just how it is and how it works in Germany. But then if you fulfill that, there is no other restrictions, such as grades or whatever.
Thank you, Krista. Very clear. This is also applies for both programs. Is it compulsory to do internship before starting your bachelor's program? Question maybe to Krista. Let's start with Krista.
Yes. Well, it is called pre-study. So the more you can, I think I said that before, right? So the more you can do beforehand, the better. You can apply without it and you can ask for a deferral, but you need to complete it by the end of the 4th semester. So the more you can do, the better, because there's lots to do during your studies and there's another internship coming up. But you can apply if you don't have it. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. And can I enter directly at the university with IB diploma course in high school? So again, please check out ANABIN, check out the DAD database, and usually IB diploma, for example, if you are for India, in most cases, you will not need, for example, APS certificate in this regard. So, and you can find out where the IB diploma also will help you in other case, in case of the, for example, non-Studienkolleg approach. And there was a question, I think, it was for Florian, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe we can address both of them. What do you mean by practical focus? Like, is it a group project, or what exactly do you mean when you say it's a practice orientation?
So if you look at our modules, usually they are not just lectures or seminars, but they are partly a lecture or a seminar. But then you also have a practical unit where you go into the lab and apply what you learned in class at a real machine. For example, you have a class on additive manufacturing, then you will go into the lab and you will also work on some 3D printing projects, or you have group projects, and passing the modules means passing both the lecture and also a practical project. So that's what we mean with a practical focus. It's integrated into each module and the whole course of studies.
Okay, clear. Clear, thank you very much. And with that, I can see that we can call it a day because we cleared the board. So thank you very much, Florian. Thank you very much, Krista. Wonderful presentations, very informative ones, and also very informative answers to the questions. Also thank you very much, attendees, for tuning in, for sending in many questions, many interesting ones. If you have more questions regarding generally studying in Germany, you can get in touch with us, with My German University. You can see our email, social media pages. Of course, we are all there, and also check out our articles. If you have specific questions to our attendees, to their programs, you can send them questions because they all provided to you with their email addresses. That would be the best option to do. And also, if you would like to leave feedback for today's webinar, the direct links are in the chat, and there you can leave us feedback, any comments, any suggestions for the future. They will be, of course, considered. Thank you very much once again, everyone. I hope to see you in our future webinars. And for now, take care and have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.